Let's get into it, shall we? Hey, yo, clap it. You know, you always got to trust your gut instinct. You got to believe people when they tell you who you are and who they are. And it's going to be a very easy joke to make about Asmongold, to say, you know, someone who brags about not taking a shower or never cleaning their room or finding a dead rat in their room, or someone who says he only drinks over the counter stuff and literally was so physically ill from his horrible diet that he literally had to go to the hospital, for them to explain to a grown man, hey, you can't just eat booger sugars all day and think that you're going to be fine. You're not special. You will die. And he was like, yeah, I'm going to start taking care of my body. Starting off with by taking a shower. Like, those are all easy jokes you can make about it. But when I first witnessed and heard that, and part of me was like, that's weird, right? We can all agree that that's weird. Beta. And even with that, it did surprise me that he was able to garner a following. And that just speaks to, you know, the man's charisma. Apparently he has the riz. But it wasn't fooling me. And whenever I have a gut feeling about somebody and I can't put my finger on what it is, you just got to let time do its thing. Because while time will heal all wounds, it will also reveal the truth eventually. And what we have is a rare situation where the truth meets reality. And what happens when you only get your information from Reddit, you surround yourself in an echo chamber, and you let the guise of having a few hundred thousand people following you and watching you and cheering you on deceive you from being able to handle critical thinking. Critical thinking is one of the most powerful tools you can have in this escapade that we call life. It's literally the difference maker between you being successful and not being successful. Your ability to critically think. And when you don't have critical thinking at your side, it can definitely hurt you. And no one's beyond reproach. You see this too often, and it's kind of a sad thing to see, because we have great streamers out there who are doing their best work to make sure that they can fight for a cause. We were covering a story about Iron Mouse a few days ago, and how she is using her platform to uplift people and inform people about conditions that people are in. We had streamers during the two major hurricanes that happened in the US on the East Coast, raising money and helping to get people out of trouble with their streaming platform. So we know that streamers do great things. We know streamers have the capacity for good. But when we have these rare one-off situations from big streamers who just do not understand the context of what they're talking about, they're not equipped to talk about it. They don't have the mental fortitude for it. They don't understand the history, the chronological eras, the misguided misfortune and the misery that is attached to the context of it. When we have streamers who talk about these things unintelligently, it has a ripple effect, because a lot of people will see what I'm about to show you, but they won't see the consequences, and therein lies what breeds more hate. And we'll talk about how his own lack of self-awareness on the situation might have put someone he actually knows, loves, and likes in danger. His comments we're about to hear has put someone he knows, loves, and cares for in danger. And he's shocked about it. So we'll go into that.
YouTube said I can't play this because it's not ad-friendly. Use link below if you want to hear this trash bag talk.
That is Asmongold talking about the Palestinian people being basically massacred and not caring about the people, the children, the well-being, because of a government he is replacing with the word culture. Culture isn't dictated by a government. A culture is dictated by its people. Besides that, there are many facets of culture that can be attributed to it. His understanding of the people who are being massacred as being one prolific ideology, because you could put the moniker of culture around Hamas. He is trying to sway or denigrate or remove the ability from you to tell someone who is Hamas, which is a terrorist group, and Palestinian, which are a group of people who are being literally erased from the face of the planet by Israel. And his inability to be able to draw the line there is the problem, right? His inability to be able to tell the difference between culture and a government structure is one thing. His inability to be able to tell culture from religion from political arrivement is another issue. There are multifaceted issues, but that statement right there has gotten Asmongold banned for his racist rant against Palestine. Twitch streamer, famous YouTuber Zach Asmongold Hoyt has had his Zachary account banned after the racist rant. And let me just say this real quick. If Twitch banned him and he was also live simultaneously on YouTube and YouTube hasn't banned him, that's a problem, right? YouTube needs to step their game up right there. That's a huge error on their part. After his racist rant about Muslim and Palestinians killed in Gaza went viral on social media, my bad, he shared on X, formerly Twitter, and what a lukewarm response, right? What a dog water ass response. My bad. You spoke so passionately about eviscerating people on the verge of a Hitlerian speech. You spoke so adamantly about it, and the best you could drum up is my bad. The cowardness that comes with weak responses or weak apologies is truly asinine. Following an online backlash, looking back on it, I was way too much of an asshole about Palestine, about the Palestine thing, about the genocide. The Palestine thing. Look, and you have to read between the lines with the responses like this. You have to look very much so at the response of this. The Palestine thing, that is a genocide currently going on, sir. My bad. Palestine thing. No, bro, you spoke so adamantly and favorably understood. You understood everything. You understood their culture, even though you were deriving a religious cult ideology and a political ideology, but you attributed it to a culture, a mass group of people you didn't understand. His other Twitter channel, Asmongold, remained up. Fascinating, right? Fascinating. And it goes without saying that, of course, he's wrong. And if for any strange reason you find yourself straw manning in wars, that's like where you have to really ask yourself, what do you care about? What is your objective here? This is the same person who will casually say, our culture is better. 2 weeks ago, he was complaining about Assassin's Creed Shadows having a female protagonist. He was complaining about that. What's so great about that? What's so great about your culture that makes you infuriated to play as a woman? In addition to playing games, Hewitt frequently live streams extended chat sessions where he comments on people's YouTube videos or whatever topics are gaining traction. On his dedicated subreddit, the Mindset, midst of the recent live stream, he began talking about Israel war in Gaza, which the Gaza Health Ministry says has killed over 40,000 Palestinians since it began. Just over a year ago, following the October 7th attack on Hamas. And even looking at the way that the conversation is structured, you have to be able to understand how unprepared people are when they talk about stuff they're not even. This news article is by Hitaku, so I don't expect much to come from this. But listen to the language of it. The Gaza Ministry says has killed over 40,000 Palestinians. That number has been upgraded 7 times. 7 times. And it's not currently known. Kudos on them for saying over, but also not being able to extrapolate Palestinians by Hamas. Because you would infer that the Palestinians are being killed because they have some association to Hamas. That's what you could infer. That is not an accurate articulation. That's like me calling every white person bad because of the KKK. right? Understanding and reading between the lines is a critical thinking process. You have to have it, or you're gonna fail at this. You're gonna fail at this and end up like Asmongold. If you want to consider a genocide as a systematic killing of group of people, they have a genocide built into their Sharia law. Yeah, only problem with this is someone is currently doing a genocide, and based on his own logic that the moment they have the ability to do it, they will do it too. We had concentration camps here in America where we trapped Japanese people during World War II. When we let them go, did we have any fear of them retaliating? Did we have any fear of Japanese people uprising in America and committing mass genocide? No. Ireland, when the Irish or Ireland escaped from the British in Parliament and was able to gain their freedom, did they go back to England and try and burn down Buckingham Bridge? No. Slavery, and even chattel slavery here in America. Yeah, black people are not out here body slamming people for racism. The ideology that your enemies, the people you have oppressed, will come back to oppress you is proof that your oppression of them isn't justified. Because if your reason for attacking someone is to stop them from even thinking about attacking you, your justification doesn't add up. You could literally make the argument for punching people in the face as you walk down the street. He looked at me funny. Punch. It's a 12th. If you just peel an onion layer off just one level, you immediately become aware of how unprepared he is to have this conversation. But I could go on and on about just how bad it is. But good on Twitch for quickly, or for what it's worth, for the time it took to take all the interest in it, and also good on for Hasan Piker. If many people have many feelings about Hasan Piker and what he stands for and what he does, but good on him for extending an olive branch and having a 2-hour conversation to try and get him to understand the error of his ways. But when you only get your information from your echo chamber, you're not going to be prepared to have this conversation. And early on in this talk, we had a conversation about why it was so bad for him to have this apology. All right. Looking back on it, I was way too much of an asshole about the Palestine thing. My bad. Of course, no one deserves to have their life destroyed, even if they do things or have views I find regressive. You guys deserve more than me saying stupid shit like that. I'll do better. You got to give people grace. That's part of being critical. And you want to hope he's learned something from this. You want to hope that he'll do better. You want to hope that, the people that are trolling in the bottom of this Reddit understand the consequences. But the reason why I think he made this apology is because he said it when he was talking without realizing who he could impact. That's Asmongold right there, who is the co-founder of OTK. OTK is an organization for gaming organization, and one look at the edges comes from not Palestinian, but Persian American backgrounds, lives in Texas and things like this. But clearly he felt some type of way, and I hope he reached out. But this is someone within his group who has a Muslim background that he spoke so freely with. And this picture is from 2020. So he's known this person for 4 years. And this is why it's so important to be careful who you associate with or call your friends. What's it called would never do that. You don't know shit about these people. You don't know what they actually think of you. He co-founded that. He's able to make money with the person he hates. So that tells you where people's ideology is above making money. I could make millions of dollars with you and still hate your guts. And you would never be the wiser. You would never be the wiser. And you're like, Hero, you're overreacting. You're doing too much. This affects people. Here he is recalling his 9/11 experience. This is 3 years ago on his stream.
young as fun.
Yeah, this America shirt. My dad gave this to me after 9/11 because we had to be patriotic. So
We had to be.
I'm not even joking. 9/11 happened. My dad came home from work and he just threw a bunch of America t-shirts at me and my mom.
Make America great again. He made that shirt the first time.
And it's sad because he innately understands the tragedy that comes with his association to his religion, his culture, and his being. And he's literally sitting there admitting he has to do that. It's all fun and games. He's sitting literally across from someone who doesn't like, who the reason why he had to buy that shirt, the person's right there in the picture with him. The reason why he had to buy said shirt, the person's in the picture with him. So to me, it's very telling, and it's a very sad situation for us to give grace. You know, I'm not the person on direct end of this. I'm not going to sit here and say he's worthy of forgiveness. That's not for me to give out. You looking for forgiveness, go to church. But while he's on his 14-day ban, he can definitely clean up his room, take a few showers. These are all low-grade jokes. It doesn't even sit well with me. But I did want to get that off my chest and let it be known that, like, when dumbasses do shit like this, we have to point it out. We have to make sure they're punished accordingly, and we have to make sure that they understand the error of their ways. You want to talk filth like that? Go to Kick. Twitch and YouTube have long since made it very clear they're not interested in having a what about my freedoms conversation. You want to talk dumb shit? Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. So, like, let this be like the one-off, like this can be the one-off warning he gets, whatever. But there is no coming back from this. He needs to, his punishment fits the crime as it stands. But once again, it's not my job to give him forgiveness. I'm not Palestinian. I'm not Muslim. It's not my position or prerogative to judge that. But I do know what it's like to be part of a minority group that is being ostracized by the media, by people, and to have someone pop off without really knowing what they're saying. But that's neither here nor there. Go ahead, clap it up.
Get down.
Let me know what you think. Did you have a gut feeling about Asmongold too? Because I know I did. Sucks to know that he is a garbage person. Makes sense. He lives in filth.